the most frightening experiences out there is the sea conditions. Yeah, the danger is always there, definitely. I don't really know why I keep going back out there, because every time I get out there and get up in a situation like that, I just keep thinking to myself, oh Lord, what am I doing out here? And as soon as I get back to land, I says, boy, I ain't never going back out there again. But then you keep remembering how nice the sea could be, and it's nice and calm, and you're catching a lot of fish, and you're making a lot of money, and it's so pleasant out there, and you keep ending up going back out there again. But every time you get those big seas, you say, my Lord, what am I doing out here again?
That's my uncle, Fred Fujikawa. He's fished this ocean all his life. My name's Michael Shiroishi. I'm 19 years old, and I've come fishing with my uncle for the first time in my life.
Hook up! Hook up! Okay, Michael, there they are. Feed them. Here they come. Okay, that's good. Feed them some more. You're getting too wild. I don't see them no more down there. Hey, Freddie, we're losing them. Nothing here, you guys. Hey, Bob! Maybe we ought to try jigging them for a while. Come on. Suckers, they don't want to bite. Go get them. Get them. Get them, Russell. Get them.
Uncle Fred, they were really charging the boat good that time. Then they just dove.
Okay, let's go.
Every summer and fall, my uncle goes out fishing for albacore tuna. We've been a fishing family since my grandfather came to this country. He was one of the Japanese immigrants who brought the pole fishing methods to America in the early 1900s. It was pole fishing which established the entire tuna industry. These fishermen lived in a tiny community called Terminal Island, and they dominated the California fishing industry for many years. Nowadays, most of the Terminal Islanders are gone, but albacore fishing is still done the same way, and my uncle is out there every season.
Think about it. Don't even pester me about that. I'm not even interested in it one bit. Well, I got started in commercial fishing just locally when I was about 12 years old on a 14-foot outboard motorboat fishing with my father. It was very scary. Didn't like it. Used to get seasick a lot.
How long would it take us?
And I just grew into it gradually over the period of years.
It's kind of weird not seeing land for a while. Just look out there and nothing you see.
Well, we don't care about seeing land anymore, because that means we're safe. Whenever you see land, that means you got a problem. We got all of our navigation equipment, so we know where we're at all the time. That's no problem. You know, as far as navigating, we know where we're at, you know. But when you start getting too close to shore, you get the steamers running back and forth, and you got to watch out for them. get out in the high seas, well, there's just fishing boats, you know, no one's going to run over you. We'll fish between 40 to 140 miles offshore. We'll end up fishing it right off San Francisco and Monterey area. This here spot right in here is very productive.
Whereabouts are we at now?
We're right off Point Bouchon. We left day before yesterday from this point right here, San Pedro here. We came up to the dam.
I was really excited before the trip. I wanted to learn all about fishing. It's been a fantasy of mine ever since I was a little kid when my mom used to tell me about my grandfather.
Fred, how do we go about catching these fish?
Well, first of all, we get one of these lures like this. We put the lines through the center of these holes here, and they put a hook on the back of these. And we drop these here outriggers down. And we have lines coming off those outriggers. We put these on there. And we troll these at approximately 6 knots. And the Albacore, they think that these are bait. They hit these, and that locates the school for us. Then you yell, hook up, and then you pull it in. And when we get them into the boat, we throw the bait out there, we start chumming, and brings the school in, and then we start with these here poles, start catching them.
My Uncle Fred's a pretty remarkable guy. He's a good, intelligent fisherman, and he knows exactly what he's doing out there.
It's important to start chumming right away and pull this fish in right away. If you lose the first fish, you generally lose a big percentage of the school. The school doesn't want to come to the boat, so it's very important to get the first fish on the boat there. When the fish first come to the boat, they really bite good, so we go to the squid poles. We use these barbless feathers like this, and the fish bite those, and you just throw them on a boat, and they come off by themselves. They're very dangerous, so you got to be careful when you use these poles here. And after they slow down, we go to the bait poles, and these poles are also barbless hooks, but we have to put bait on these.
Which pole's the best?
Well, actually, the squid pole is the best if you get them to take the squid pole. One man can put a ton on in 15 minutes. When I first started commercial fishing, it was exciting because of the volume of fish being caught quickly and the things you learn, how the fish operate. You're living with the fish, actually. You're part of the sea. Then you drop it, you just swing the pole out like that, you just drop it in the water. And you watch the bait all the time, and then when the fish grab the bait, you just pick them up and real nice and gently. And you bring them in, and you catch the fish under this arm here. You catch the fish under this arm, and you unhook it with this other hand down. And it's very simple. The main thing is to be agile. Just get them on the boat. Don't worry about winging them. Just get them on the boat. That's it. That's it. Okay, Michael, don't be grabbing that leader. You're going to cut your hand. Then you grab another leader. Uh-oh. No. Mother's gonna get mad at me. I told you I'm gonna take care of you. Well, I see you haven't got seasick yet.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised about that.
Oh, yeah, well.
I figure I would, even the trip.
Yeah, how come? Yeah, I saw some of those fish kick you in the face. Well, what's the matter? Wasn't you quick enough? You gotta kind of watch that.
There's two sides to my uncle. When he's fishing, he's all business. He's very demanding and he wants the job done
I
properly.
remember I got hit a couple of times. It feels like a big live football hitting you on the side of the head.
The other side of him, he's very warm, and I like being on the boat with him.
Has anybody gotten really seriously hurt when you were out there fishing?
Oh, definitely get hurt good. One time, this one guy got the hook come out of the water, and I don't know how I hooked this guy's lip. Boy, it just went right through his lip, clear through him. Boy, it was kind of funny, but that guy was in pain. Then he kept snapping the pole back like this, you know, and wanted to shake the hook loose from something, and all the time was hooked to this guy's lip like that, and he'd go like that. Oh boy, there was a lot of hard feelings that time too. Get quite a few stories like that. That's what you call them.
Especially with the green hurling.
Oh, they're the ones that are most fun. Like the other time I seen Russell with a rod and reel, he was pulling a fish up straight towards him. Then the hook came off of the fish and I pulled him right between the eyes. And he goes, tweet like that. I could not believe that one either. I said, you dummy. I said, no one's going to do that to yourself. You always pull the pole to one side. If it breaks, you know, it's just going to flip him back. But then he gets mad at me for laughing, but I think that's nothing but funny. Well, I expect Michael to gain by going fishing a lot by living in close quarters with other men, getting along for long periods of time under very poor conditions, and also gaining a lot of knowledge of the sea conditions, sea life, and how the porpoises swim, and how we fish. And as you struggle along, the more you struggle, the more you appreciate things. Well, how come you look so tired, Michael?
It's kind of hard to sleep because we park, you know, in between the swells like that, and they hit us from the side and sway back and forth. Sometimes it gets real rough. The engine's kind of loud running day and night. I guess I haven't got used to sleeping on this boat yet. I'm used to sleeping in a quiet bed, a quiet house.
Well, yeah, don't you notice how everybody smells so pretty out here?
Yeah, it starts getting to you after a while. Then after a while, you don't notice it.
You don't notice it?
Getting used to it.
I guess you might becoming one of them. That's why you don't notice it so much. You know, you live with them, and you don't even notice the smell at all. Just really nice.
You know what amazes me is out of a big ocean, how do you know where the fish are at?
The fish are in certain temperature water. We get charts out all the time. We're scientific fishermen, so you get charts out, and you follow wherever the temperatures are right. That's where you start fishing at. You know from years past that they always hit in certain places, and you just start. Well, I think fishing families in general, I think they're a little bit closer. My family, boy, they all love it. They love it because I'm gone most of the time. And when I'm gone most of the time and I come back, they're happy to see me, so it's really nice.
When a terminal islander was out at sea, a fishing boat was his only home for weeks and even months at a time. That made the time spent at home all the more important. My family was very close. Just after my grandfather came from Japan, he started working on long trips down to Mexican waters. My grandmother ran the household, but everybody pitched in. My mother was the oldest. She looked after the other kids, especially her sister Midori, who later married my uncle. Like many of the women, my grandmother worked in the canneries to support the family while my grandfather was away. Because of the strong spirit of cooperation, Terminal Island became the most prosperous of the Japanese communities. After the war started, many of the fishermen were arrested and taken to special camps. My grandfather was one of them, and it was 2 years before my family saw him again. In February of 1942, the Terminal Islanders were given 3 days to evacuate, and they were never able to return.
The war came along, and then they took away the boats, and that sort of ended the big Japanese community right here on Terminal Island. But they kind of, it's kind of a lost item now. They just kind of went by, you know, so it's just a sad deal.
It still amazes me every time I think that my uncle and his brother Bob could do what they did. They started with just a couple pieces of flat steel. For 18 months, they worked 7 days a week, sometimes around the clock. With their own hands, they cut and welded and hammered out 2 of the most beautiful boats I've ever seen.
Well, the Japanese actually pioneered the tuna industry. I don't think they got a whole lot of credit for it. From the very start, they developed the bait fishing industry. They're the first ones that got live bait on the boats, catching a live bait, keeping it on a boat, took it down in the Mexican waters down south and fished down there. They're the first ones that went down to try to ice the fish, you know, to make these long-range trips, and developing the refrigeration systems, and everybody else followed suit after that. Before that, they were just local trips, and you couldn't carry any distance at all there. We did approximately, I can say about 90% of the boat ourselves, 90%. You just get the plans and buy the steel, get the yard, get everything ready, and just start going at it, you know, just like walking, one step at a time, and just do the job, and you're gonna do it. Well, it gave us a very good feeling every time I look at the boat. I think it was, I think anybody would have a very good feeling doing 2 boats in that time, and they're very impressive looking. I think they're pretty looking boats, even though we build them ourselves. I think they're very impressive looking. I'm impressed myself. Okay, now. Got it. That's it, Richard. Now you got time to eat. Okay, get down. Let's go. We're gonna go down. Go on down. Well, if my son wants to be a fisherman, it'd be great, you know. It's all there for him. All he has to do is just take over, and it'd be a lot better than what I had it, and a whole lot better than what his grandparents had it.
You need more ties?
That's it.
Why didn't you use the last time? Because I got tie wrapped and coming down.
We get up at sunrise. We throw out the jig lines, and I go sit on the bait tank waiting for a hookup. Fishing is a lot of highs and lows. Most of the days aren't as good as you'd like them to be, and when the fish aren't biting, it can be very, very dull. There are days when all we get are a few jig fish, no pole fish at all. It gets pretty damn depressing. The sea seems rougher, the food tastes worse, and I start wishing I was somewhere else.
Hey, Bob.
gotta keep trying, doing whatever you can to put a few more fish on the boat. But after a while, every little thing gets on your nerves. You miss being with people. You wonder about your family and what's happening back home.
Come on, Michael, you ain't got no bait on your hook. Put a live one on there. We've had a lot of really close calls out at sea. Like one time we got caught out there at about 80 knots of wind, and I just shut down and drifted. Some of the boats that didn't, they got rolled over in the seas and everything. They lost their lives. But fishing out there, it gets you pretty tough. You're fishing in the sloppy weather. You have to get in the rack and start catching these big fish, and it's tough when you're fighting the waves. It's like being in the surf trying to catch fish. Too much weather down there. Once you pass the inception, we start getting the weather. The type of fishing we're doing with these bait poles, we like to stay in closer to shore. The bigger fish are in closer to shore. The smaller fish are on the outside. So every now and then,
the bigger fish are in closer to the shore.
Because
the bait's at.
yeah, that's where the bait's at.
We catch more bait in Santa Cruz. Think that'll help us out?
If we get big bait, big lively bait, we definitely will.
So we're gonna go catch some in Santa Cruz.
Well, we go and take a look. Take a look. If we don't catch it, well, we'll just take it easy for a couple of days and go back out again.
A lot of bait here, Bobby. We got a lot of it here. Looks good. How could you mention that after you about got yours? You wouldn't have done that to me, would you? You didn't do that to me at Westport. Westport, you had first pick. What are you talking about? That's right. That's why you're in.
Very strong sense of pride. Yeah. We're definitely carrying on. I don't think the younger generation can quite see that you're doing more than just fishing. You're feeding the nation, you're creating jobs, spending money, and it's helping the economy of the nation. Well, I'd definitely like to have Michael have a sense of pride, you know, and as far as fishing goes like I do, but it's just kind of, you know, as we go along in life, it's just, it's harder and harder for the younger generations to do this. You know, the younger generations are getting farther and farther away from their sense of pride. But I think maybe, you know, if I had a couple more seasons with him, maybe he would develop more and more of it, you know.
Anybody would. How am I doing so far? Fishing?
Well, keep grabbing a hold of the leader, the wire. You gotta stop grabbing the wire.
I always do that.
I know, because you're gonna get cut.
I have got cut.
I know you're gonna get cut more. You keep grabbing the wire, and you're striving for control of the fish, but it takes a while.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's okay. Your chumming's fine. When you come on a school of fish, the thing is you gotta put the meat to them right away, you know, and bring them up. Once they see the anchovies there, they're gonna stay up. But if we don't get, we see the spot, you throw the bait to them right now, you know, hit them heavy, you know.
Yeah.
Once they come up and they come into the boat, just slack off and feed them. We got a couple of good days of weather, we'll be all right. Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah, I'm having a great time.
Oh,
It's pretty good. Wake up in the morning, I think, what am I doing out here, you know? Then we start catching fish, forget about all that. I may never become a real fisherman, but I know I'm very lucky to be out here.
Hook up! chamacos, get them!
I really feel like this trip has made me a part of something I'm going to carry with me for the rest of my life.